Good evening. This is All India Radio Kohima. I'm Jonas Yantan with Evening News. The headlines. New Financial Budget 2023-24 presented by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman comes into force today. Nagaland Health Department reiterates that COVID-19 pandemic is not over yet, urges citizens to continue to follow COVID-appropriate behavior. Commissioner Secretary Y Kikheto Sema says it is expected to receive National Medical Commission's letter of permission from Medical College Kohima within a couple of weeks. And Director of North Eastern Institute of Language and Culture, Dr. Vijay A says at least 200 languages of Northeast region considered as endangered. Now the news in detail. The new financial budget 2023-24, which had been presented by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, has come into force today. Various government schemes and amendments proposed in the budget have also been implemented today. The sale of gold jewellery and gold artifacts will be purchased only with a hallmarked 6-digit code now. The rate of interest on short-term saving schemes will be applicable from today. Women can also invest in the Mahila Saman Savings Certificate scheme from today. This 2-year, 10-year scheme offers an attractive and fixed interest of 7.5% interest compounded quarterly with flexible investment and partial withdrawal options with a maximum ceiling of 2 lakh rupees. The scheme is valid for 2 years up to 31st of March 2025. Nagaland Health Department has reiterated that the COVID-19 pandemic is not yet over and urged the citizens to be disciplined and continue to follow all the COVID-appropriate behavior. Addressing a press conference at the Directorate of Health and Family Welfare Department, Kohima, today, Commissioner and Secretary Health and Family Welfare Department, Y Kikheto Sema, said the COVID-19 pandemic, which is an unprecedented crisis in the lifetime of mankind, has affected the world and individual directly or indirectly. Informing that there has been a sharp rise in COVID-19 positive cases in the country in the last 4 weeks, Kikheto said, as expected, it will continue to be with us and urged the people not to panic as the current wave is not that serious as compared to the previous waves of the pandemic. Despite the limited infrastructure, he said the state could battle the first and second wave of the pandemic. He also noted that the overall health infrastructure of the state saw a significant uplift, adding that today the state health infrastructure, including manpower, has been revamped to a large extent. He said that the state has enough bed capacity, both oxygen-supported and ICU beds. He informed that at present there are 97 ICU ventilator beds across the district hospitals, 107 ICU beds, 787 oxygen-supported beds, and 307 normal beds with non-oxygen, besides 200-bedded hospital for acute medical care at Christian Institute of Health Sciences and Research, and 100 ICU bedded at Jumukidima Police Complex. Highlighting on the state's COVID-19 scenario, the Health Commissioner said the state has so far reported not a single COVID case since 11 February this year, but cautioned that one should not be careless. He said all precautions are in place and several meetings with the health workers are being conducted. He informed that the next mock drill for public health preparedness is scheduled on 10th and 11th of this month. Principal Director Dr. V.P. Donio Mefo said PSL-3 laboratory at NHAK is equipped with to conduct genome sequencing. Nodal Officer ITSP Dr. Nyan said the COVID testing is not as how it was in the first and second waves, but conducting on an average basis of 20 to 30 COVID tests per day in the state. He said the tests are not on targeted basis, but of symptomatic tests. Commissioner and Secretary of Health and Family Welfare Department, Y Kikheto Sema, said the department is waiting for letter of permission or letter of intent from National Medical Commission (NMC) to start a medical college in Kohima. He said it is expected to receive the NMC's letter within a couple of weeks. Speaking to media persons at Kohima today, Kikheto said it is the burning desire of everyone to have a medical college in the state and that they are on the job and working tirelessly. Kikheto said assurances and affidavits were signed by him on two occasions, one on 7th February and a second on 6th March, to complete all the major infrastructure, equipments and manpower faculty on or before 31st May 2023. Kikheto also informed that an MOU was also signed with the contractors to complete the teaching classrooms and library by June 30, informing the books have arrived today and soon the library for the first year will be kept ready. He expressed hope that the equipments would be arriving soon. Kikheto further said the recruitment process of first and second batch of the faculty have already completed and they are expected to join this month and May respectively, while the last batch of the recruitment will be conducted on 14th and 15th of this month. This news comes to you from All India Radio, Kohima. You can also listen to this news bulletin on News On Air app and YouTube channel AIR News Kohima. In a special series, All India Radio brings you excerpts from the Prime Minister's Man Ki Baat.
People, voice and direct dialogue. That's your and our Man Ki Baat. Yes, this is how our Prime Minister connects with millions of countrymen with the program Man Ki Baat, aired on the last Sunday of every month on All India Radio. This series, which started on October 3rd, 2014, will complete its 100th episode in April 2023. Ever since the Goods and Services Tax, GST, has come into existence, it has not only added to the state exchequer but also resulted in the ease of living, or an improvement in the lives of the common man. When GST was announced, some apprehensions were raised, but now things have changed. The Prime Minister spoke eloquently about how GST has made lives easier in the Man Ki Baat episode broadcast on 30th July 2017.
मुझे बहुत संतोष होता है, खुशी होती है जब कोई गरीब मुझे चिट्ठी लिख करके कहता है कि जीएसटी के कारण एक गरीब की जरूरत की चीजों में कैसे दाम कम हुए हैं, चीजें कैसे सस्ती हुई है। अगर नॉर्थ ईस्ट दूर सुदूर पहाड़ों में जंगलों में रहने वाला कोई व्यक्ति चिट्ठी लिखता है कि शुरू में डर लगता था कि पता नहीं क्या है, लेकिन अब जब मैं उसमें सीखने समझने लगा तो मुझे लगता है पहले से ज़्यादा आसान हो गया काम, व्यापार और आसान हो गया। और सबसे बड़ी बात है, ग्राहकों का व्यापारी के प्रति भरोसा बढ़ने लगा है।
The special Man Ki Baat series can be heard every day in the morning and evening bulletins. Director of North Eastern Institute of Language and Culture, Guwahati, Reverend Dr. Vijay A. D'Souza said Northeast region of India alone, which is home to at least 200 languages, are considered endangered as per UNESCO's 2003 Vitality Index. Most of these languages have less than 10,000 speakers each, said Dr. Vijay, while delivering a lecture on language endangerment in the Northeast, from despair to hope at Detsio College in Dimapur. He said attitudes of colonial masters that these languages are worthless have been carried down through generations till today. He said this made people shun their own languages in pursuit of English and Hindi on assumption that the dominant languages will grant social mobility and employment opportunities rather than their own mother tongues. Towards revitalizing one's own language, Dr. Vijay said the best and easiest way is to speak one's own language whenever possible and to cultivate attitude of pride and belonging for one's own language and community. Chief Minister Nirmala today chaired a state-level coordination meeting for upcoming G20 Business Summit to be held on April 5 at Kohima. In a tweet, Rio said that the Nagaland conference is the last of the 4B20 conferences in the Northeast after successful editions at Manipur, Mizoram and Sikkim. Rio further said that he looked forward to welcoming the delegates of G20. Directorate of Employment Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Nagaland, has informed that National Skill Development Corporation International will be organizing the first international job fair. Interested aspirants may register themselves at kaushalmahotsav.nstcdigital.org/international/candidate. Major sectors which are to be covered includes automotive, agriculture and horticulture, carpentries, construction, healthcare, hospitality, oil and gas, amongst others. Registration will be open till 9th of this month. In a historic achievement, 12-year-old Kinayala Iyer of Nagaland has won a bronze medal at the 5th National Gathered Kyoroki and Pumse Taekwondo Championship held from 28 to 31st March at Kota, Rajasthan. A student of Christian Higher Secondary School Dimapur, Kinayala is the first female to represent the Nagaland Taekwondo Association affiliated to TFI and Nagaland Olympic Association. Manong Konyak, Tungti and Longkan also won bronze medals in the tournament in their respective categories. And now to end the news, here are the main points again. New Financial Budget 2023-24 presented by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman comes into force today. Nagaland Health Department reiterates that COVID-19 pandemic is not yet over, urges citizens to continue to follow COVID-appropriate behaviour. Commissioner Secretary Y Kikheto Sema says it is expected to receive a National Medical Commission's letter of permission from Medical College Kohima within a couple of weeks. And Director of North Eastern Institute of Language and Culture, Dr. Vijay A says at least 200 languages of Northeast region considered as endangered. That is all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.